The Argentines have traditionally done pretty well in the middleweight division. You can look at fighters like Eduardo Lausse, bit of education for you guys. He plied his trade in the 40s and the 50s, and he was excellent. He was really good, really good. Great puncher. He came to the United States and beat the likes of Gene Fullmer, floored him. Ralph Tiger Jones, who once beat Sugar Ray Robinson, he beat him. Kid Gavilan, he won and lost against him. You go to the fights in Argentina, and it's a little sketchy, but that's where most of the record is padded up. Carlos Monzon, he beat the likes of Nino Benvenuti twice. Emil Griffiths, Denny Moya, Benny Briscoe a couple of times, though one of them was touch and go. Benny nearly had him out of there. Jose Napoles. And some consider him the best middleweight ever. In some quarters, they'd have him the best. But once again, when you go to the fights he had in Argentina, I think he defended against Benny Briscoe in Argentina. But apart from that, sketchy. Sketchy opposition in Argentina, for the most part. He held the title for 7 years, 1970 to 1977. And he didn't lose it in the ring. He retired champion. He died in a car crash. He was a wild boy. He went to jail for murdering his supermodel or actress wife. He was living that lavish, balling, fast lane, la vida loca life. In real time, it's before my time. And I always knew he was a great fighter. But it wasn't until the incident with his wife where he murdered her, and the Boxing News made a big spread about it, and apparently it was a massive news story in Argentina. Then I realized how big the guy was. Carlos Monzon, people. Monzon was succeeded by Hugo Corro, who beat the very talented Rodrigo Valdez for the belt. And I don't know much about Corro, in all honesty, but I just remembered the name. He won the belt in 78 from Valdez, defended it once, won a non-title fight, and then lost it back to Valdez all in the same year. So it was a very eventful year for that guy, up and down roller coaster. Now this one was more in my era. One Roldan, who took out Frank the Animal Fletcher, to earn his shot at Marvin Hagler. He is credited as being the only man to knock down Marvin Hagler. It was a slip, though. It wasn't a knockdown. It was a slip. And it's a shame that kind of is on Hagler's exemplary record of the best chin in the business, bro. You know what I mean? But that's how that goes. He never won a title. But how could you? There was only one undisputed champion, Hagler. There's nothing he could do. He beat guys like J.B. Williamson, who went on to become light heavyweight champion. He beat up James Kinchin to earn another shot at Thomas Hearns, and Kinchin was very good. I remember he battered up Kinchin, swelled up his eye, and took him out. And if you want to know how good Roldan is, go and watch the vacant WBC World Middleweight title with Thomas Hearns. Go and watch that. And you will see resilience, toughness, and good technique too, believe it or not. He wasn't as crude as people think. Roldan was very good. Very unconventional, very good. Hearns eventually won the fight by KO in the fourth. That was Tommy's fourth world title at 4 different weights. He eventually won 5 after picking up the super middleweight title against James Kinchin, who Roldan had previously beat. But no, Roldan, very good. If the belts were splintered, like they often get splintered today, he'd be a champion. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion. The first I remember of Sergio Martinez was when he beat up Richard Williams twice, and Williams was a hot prospect in the UK at the time. A bit of a shock in the trade in the UK when that happened, and who could tell that he would go on to become a prolific player in the middleweight division. Obviously the Paul Williams fights, which I'd say he won both. The second one was dramatic. He beat Kelly Pavlik for the middleweight title. He came off the canvas to outpoint Pavlik, and you know, a lot of people in hindsight, I hear, oh yeah, I knew he was going to win. No, Pavlik was the favourite. Pavlik had just beaten Jermaine Taylor twice and was the lineal undisputed champion. What are you talking about? And that was a great win for Martinez. A great win. Great win. Pavlik looked a whole lot bigger than him, but Martinez made light work of it. Had a little trouble with some of the British guys. Darren Barker was giving him some rounds before he stopped him. I thought Barker had a case of being in front at the time of the stoppage. He had trouble with Martin Murray in Argentina. I think he went down twice. Maybe only one was counted. But to me, it looked like he could have lost his title on that night. But it wasn't to be for Murray. It was close, though. It was close. A draw, I think, would have been a fair result. Matthew Macklin had him down, but I can't remember if it was a solid knockdown. A few of the Brits gave him a few problems before succumbing his belt to Cotto, and there was always the Chavez match, where the wheels started falling off, I guess. He had knee problems. Chavez way behind on points, had him down. Martinez, his leg looked like it was injured when he got up, and I think a lot of people were rooting for Martinez to win because he wasn't just fighting Chavez, he was fighting Chavez and the WBC. Martinez was the lineal champion, and the WBC was trying to do all kind of arms outs to the guy and marginalize his position and trying to give Chavez all types of leverage or cheap belts and advantages in negotiations, and eventually justice won out. And now we're here with Sebastian Highland against Jamal Charlo. Could be a tougher fight than what you think. Go watch some of Highland first and weigh it up analytically. That's what I'd say. Peace.